Before you decide what to grow in your garden, you need to understand your climate. In this video, we will cover some tools and tips on figuring this out. Hello and welcome to another LifeOnOurHomestead.com gardening video. My name is John, and if this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow a successful garden, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell icon so you don't miss anything. In the last video, we covered the climate and understanding your growing season dates. Click the info card above to watch that video if you have not already. Now we will cover items that make your garden unique to you. First, we need to know what our sun exposure is for each area of the garden. We need to know if it is full sun, meaning 6 or more hours of direct sunlight a day, partial sun, meaning 4 hours of direct sunlight a day, or shade, meaning less than 4 hours of direct sunlight. You can measure this through observation or instruments, but you should have a pretty good idea of your sun exposure. Also pay attention to areas of the garden that have sun obstructions. Fences, houses, trees will all obstruct part or all of your garden. Lastly, identify what type of sun exposure each part of your garden gets. Early morning sun is much different than afternoon, evening sun in the heat of the summer. Knowing the timing of the sun exposure can help you strategically place plants to take advantage of this. For example, lettuce and broccoli can have morning sun, then shaded in the afternoon to avoid the heat exposure. If you do not have shade for plants like this, you can always create shade screens or plan on making a natural shade barrier with taller plants such as beans and tomatoes to protect them from the afternoon heat. Knowing your sun exposure is important when planning where to plant your vegetables in your garden. So keep this information in your planning material, and we will reference it often in the videos to come. Next item to consider is wind. Some plants are more fragile to the wind. If you have constant wind, consider some type of artificial or natural windbreak. Keep this in mind when planning your garden. Moving on to the topography of your garden, identify any low points in the garden. This will become an issue for two reasons. First, it will experience frost sooner in your garden from pooling cold air. Second, if you have water drainage issues, this part of the garden will get bogged down in standing water. To solve both of these issues, consider building up the ground in this area or constructing grow boxes to elevate your garden. While on the topic of your soil, you need to understand your soil composition to aid in your planning. There are a few general types of soil. First, thick clay soil. If your soil balls up in your hand when you make a fist, it is clay. Second would be sandy loam. If the soil balls up but then falls apart, it is sandy loam. Lastly, sandy. If the soil does not ball up but sifts through your hands, it is sandy. Ideally, you want sandy loam. Enough clay to retain some moisture, but not enough to cause pooling of water. You can test your soil by contacting your local county extension office for testing information. The link to find your extension is in the description below. Second item on soil is you need to know the composition. Are there a lot of rocks, or is the soil compacted and hard to work through? These are all issues that will make growing vegetables difficult. You will want to resolve these issues or mitigate them in your planning by finding friendlier soil for your root plants, or an easy fix to any soil is to construct elevated growing boxes. By creating these beds, you can bring in good soil, and often this is the easier route than fighting poor soil conditions in your garden. Last item to consider is natural predators to your garden. Animal predators such as deer or small animals that would love to have a midnight snack in your garden. Also, you may have pests, virus, or fungus predators. Knowing if you have these issues will come with experience in your garden, and you can take measures early on to mitigate them. Check out our series on overcoming predators in the garden for more information. If you want to learn more about how to grow a successful garden, start now by hitting the subscribe icon below so you don't miss anything. Thank you for watching. Now go enjoy your garden, and I'll see you next time.